Good morning. Today we are going to discuss an important topic in polymers, that is compounding of plastics. What is meant by compounding? Compounding is nothing but the mixing up of seven and more ingredients for the resin along with the resin. So we have to mix 7 or 8 constituents along with the resin. Okay, so the mixing up of the constituents to the resin is called as compounding of plastics. Why this compounding is done? Compounding is done to improve the quality of the product. Second one, in order to have ease of fabrication and also to impart any special properties to the plastics. Special properties in the sense, in order to have thermal stability, in order to have protection against UV radiations, etc. Next, coming to the what are the important constituents of the plastics? That means what are the various ingredients that are mixed to form a polymer and what are their functions? Today we are going to discuss that particular important constituents of the plastic. See, this is the important constituents of plastics are first one resin, second one plasticizers, and third one lubricants, and fourth one catalyst, and fifth one stabilizers, and sixth one fillers, and the seventh one coloring agents. First one we shall discuss what is resin. So the polymer product or the product of polymerization is called resin. Resin is the major constituent of the polymer. Next, what is the important function of the resin? Resin acts as a binder which holds the other constituents together and keep as a one object. Next, the resins are of two types. They are thermoplastic resins and thermosetting resins. So resin is the important compound. Resin is synonymous to plastic and plastic is synonymous to resin. That means without other constituents also you can make an article by using resin, but there may be lack of some properties. But you can make the particular thing like table or chair with only resin also. So resin forms a major constituent of the polymer or plastic. Next, coming to the second one, plasticizers. What are plasticizers? So plasticizers are added to the resin in order to have flexibility and plasticity. Next, what is the use of this plastic? How they improve the plasticity or flexibility of the plastic? If you add these plasticizers to the resin, they neutralize the forces of attraction between two polymer chains, and they see that the polymer chains will not slide over each other, so that they give or they impart greater freedom of movement to the resin. For example, if you take two polymer chains, these are the two polymer chains, there will be forces of attraction between the two polymer chains, and due to van der Waals force of attraction, they both will fall on one another, then there is no movement of freedom. So it becomes a problem during molding of this particular material into an article. Suppose if you add some plastic or plasticizer, then what happens is the plasticizers come in between these two, so that the two layers will not touch to each other, and they it neutralizes the force of attraction between these two, so that there will be greater movement of freedom between the two polymer chains. Examples are campers, any vegetable oil, okay, many other things are there, they can be used as plasticizers. Next, coming to the lubricant, you all know that what is the major role of the lubricant? Lubricants are added in order to decrease the frictional force or in order to have ease movement of polymer chains one above the other. The important thing of lubricants is it avoids the fixing or sticking of the material to the fabricating machine. Suppose if you don't add lubricants, what happens is this plastic material will go on sticking to the machine. Then all the time is wasted by taking out that particular material. And the second important thing is that it gives a flawless and glossy finish. Flaw means what? Any defect. Less means what? So no defect. So when you add these particular lubricants, it gives a flawless. So the main function is flawless, that means no defect, okay, and also glossy finish. Glossy means shiny. which attracts the customer. So these are the main duties of these particular lubricants: flawless and glossy finish. So what are the various lubricants you are going to use? Any oils, waxes, etc. Next, going for the catalyst. You all know that catalysts are used in order to increase the speed or rate of reaction. Those reactions which are very slow can be made faster by adding this particular catalyst. Here also, catalysts need not be added to thermoplastic resins, but catalysts are to be added to thermosetting resins. Why? Because thermosetting resins takes place via condensation polymerization, which are very slow process and stepwise process. So in order to make up the process very fast, we have to add the catalyst. Generally added catalysts are peroxides. So, for example, you can take hydrogen peroxide, barium peroxide, benzoyl peroxide, sodium peroxide, and also zinc oxide, etc. So, that's all about the catalyst. Then going for the stabilizers. Stabilizers are nothing but they are called as thermal stabilizers. That means what? During polymerization or during molding process, this particular matter is subjected to elevated and high temperatures. So at that temperatures, there is a chance of degradation or decomposition and decoloration. Okay, decomposition and decoloration. What is the meaning of decomposition and decoloration? Whenever double bonds and triple bonds, that means multiple bonds are present in the molecule, what happens is this will be oxidized. They have a tendency to get oxidized. Okay, so decomposition will take place and also decoloration. Suppose if a customer wants some pink color, then during that elevated temperature you may not get pink color, or the pink color gets faded out. So in order to avoid such circumstances of decomposition and decoloration, we have to add these thermal stabilizers. So if you add that thermal stabilizers, they will see that no decomposition is there and also no decoloration is there. Examples for stabilizers are litharge, PBO, red lead, white lead, etc. Next, going to the fillers. Fillers are added in order to have different important properties. Fillers are added in order to have an improvement. Okay, 5 qualities will be improved. First one, better hardness. Second one, tensile strength will be improved, and better opacity, finish, and workability. These 5 will be improving, and another 3 will decrease. What are the things that are going to decrease? First one, cost. The cost will be reduced, and the second one, brittleness will be reduced, and shrinkage during molding will be reduced. So these are the 3 which are going to decrease, and I have already informed you what are the 5 things that are going to improve. What are the 5 things that are going to improve? First one, better hardness, and the second one, workability, tensile strength, opacity, and finish. Okay, what are the various fillers that we are going to use? Gypsum, china clay, paper pulp, sawdust, etc. Then finally we are going for coloring agents. So what is the meaning of coloring agent? Coloring agent is nothing but which gives desired color and aesthetic appeal. That means attraction uh, towards the article. Okay, that is the major function of the coloring agents. What are the various coloring agents we use? They are either they may be organic dyestuffs or inorganic pigments. So these are the various coloring agents. Suppose if you want a green color, then you have to use yellow color. Suppose if you want yellow color, then you have to add a particular chemical. For example, if you want black color polymer, then you have to add carbon black. Suppose if you want blue color, then you have to add Prussian blue. Suppose if you want red color, then you have to add ferric oxide. Suppose if you want crimson color, then you have to add antimony oxide. So these are the various coloring agents which improves the aesthetic appeal and also which gives good finish to the article.